What are some of the feedback you mentioned? You work with corporate America, and speak before them on issues like this. What is some of the most difficult topics that they're dealing with in the workplace?
Well, I think what's difficult for them is that you cannot always just avoid politics, right? So at a law firm in particular, or I'm also giving a talk for Columbia University on this topic very soon. So for law firms and academia, there are certain environments where you really cannot just avoid the topic of politics because policy changes are happening, academic discussion of the precepts behind, or the philosophical meaning of these things, or what democracy is. All of these things matter and are part of the fabric of what you're discussing every day. So if the administration makes a policy about, say, the border, and somebody thinks it's racist, but they have to discuss that policy, well, they can't really hide their opinion necessarily, because there are underlying assumptions underneath all of those opinions, and those become germane to policy or academic or even work-related discussions. If any of that material, whether it be about should we have a transgender bathroom, or there's a new law that says we cannot have a transgender bathroom, people may have feelings about this. And so I think expecting people to not talk about it actually creates problems. One of the things that I say, and Charlie said something similar, is I say that violence increases when dialogue ceases. And so ironically, by people wanting to shut down speech because they think, oh, well, we'll get rid of hate speech and bullying this way, ironically, what they're doing is they're setting people up for, I believe, more combative exchanges. When you're working with anger management, or certainly with violent management people, one of the first things you want to do is teach them to use their words, to have dialogue. So I think it's probably a well-intentioned but a very misguided effort when people just try to say, well, you cannot say such and such, or we will not tolerate discussion of such and such. It's actually the worst thing that we want to do if our goal is to create cooperation and understanding.